Hello, everybody. We're just getting set up. We're about to get started in about 5 minutes. If you are on the website, just please let me know you can hear me and you can see the screen. Now we're going to get started in about 4 minutes. If you hear any echo or any issues with sound or visuals, please let me know. I'll also be doing some live website reviews. If anyone wants their landing page or website reviewed at the end, you can simply add it to the chat box, or you can send me a tweet at Alex Designs. Get started in about 3 minutes. Hey everybody, how's it going? We're about to get started in about 1 minute. I'm going to be walking you through a case study that I have been working on master website conversions. It's broken up into a 5-step formula. And at the end, I'll be doing live website reviews or landing page reviews for anybody who wants to have input on how they increase their conversions as well. And we'll go ahead and get started now. Any issues, you can send me a tweet at Alex Designs or in the chat box on the live page. All right, welcome everybody. My name is Alex Harris, and the website Master Website Conversions is a project that I'm working on that I do live, every week. I record a case study that I'm working on using A/B testing, conversion optimization best practices to really figure out how I can improve the results for my clients and people that I'm helping with their case studies. I've been doing website design and landing page design for over 10 years. This is just an example of some of the landing pages that I've worked on, and I've done over 5,000 different tests, so I have a lot of experience on understanding how to improve conversion rates and generate more leads. Let me tell you a little bit about me. I worked at a .com for over 11 years, and during that time, I was building my side business. I was number 1 or number 2 for landing page design and conversion rate web design for over 7 years. Then in 2012, I left that job and I got married, and in 2013, I created a podcast called Marketing Optimization. You may know me from that podcast, and if you want to subscribe, you can find it in iTunes, Stitcher, and so forth. Now this year, I've really focused on dialing in my web agency focus on website design for improving conversion rates and generating more leads. I combined that into a membership site called Master Website Conversions. And today I'll be taking you through the 5-step formula so you can master website conversions. The 5 steps are the discovery process, creating a hypothesis, the execution and creation process, and then reviewing and scaling those ideas so you can dramatically improve your bottom line. Because if we're able to make short, incremental changes to our site and get results or even failures, we'll learn a lot more in a shorter period of time. Every single step that I go through in this process is broken up into quantitative and qualitative analysis. Quantitative being the numbers and analytics that we get from data, and then qualitative being understand exactly what's going on in the customer's mind. Quantitative tools include things like Visual Website Optimizer, Optimizely, Convert.com, Google Analytics, Kitsmetrics, and there's many others out there to really understand what's going on your website based on the data. Qualitative tools include things like user testing, ClickTail, and Crazy Egg. The ability to see or understand what's going on in the customer's mind so you can put yourself in their shoes and then use that data to make educated guesses or hypotheses in order to understand how you can predictively improve results going forward. The first step in our process is the discovery process. This discovery process is key to really understanding what's going on throughout your whole site. And we make decisions based on data. In order to figure out exactly what's going on your site, the key is to understand where you're getting the most traffic. If you know what's going on your site, where the most traffic is coming from, then you can find where the biggest opportunity is to get quick wins. So in this case study, this is a health products and supplements site, and we understood that the top traffic pages, I know it's a little bit hard to see here, but are based on a whey protein powder page, a green drink page, a home page, and a couple different articles. So we know based on this data, if we change this one particular page, that's the top landing page, whey protein powder, we will dramatically improve the results for the whole entire site if we were able to make changes to that one particular page. So that's where we really are going to start. And we want to break it down even further. We want to understand exactly the conversion rates and the KPIs, the goals for each one of those pages. And we can do that through looking at Google Analytics. We also are going to be using Visual Website Optimizer, which allows us to not only do split testing, but also track revenue and conversion rates based on each individual page. You can see here that I've broken it up into the home page, the green drink page, and the whey protein powder page. This gives us the amount of conversions along with the total revenue or the total sales based on each page. Visual Website Optimizer also allows us to look at heat maps to understand exactly where people are clicking on. That way we can make a hypothesis to understand where the area to test is. Sometimes you don't want to test the whole entire page. You really want to understand where they're clicking, what section of the page that they're clicking on, and then use that as a way to leverage tests. We also using Surveymonkey, where we query and ask customers exactly what their pains or successes are going through our site. In this case, we had an open question, can you comment on this particular survey? And we were gathering a lot of data to understand exactly what was going on in the mind of the customer. You know, is the price too high? Are the ingredients easier to understand? How did they arrive there? The more data that you can get, you can define your target customer even better. Surveys are really great because not only do you want to query your existing customers, but also the customers who may not have purchased in the first place. Your existing customers, add a survey to the thank you page. This will allow you to really understand what is going on after people reach the confirmation page. We also use usertesting.com. This allows us to see people who are actually going through our pages. What are they clicking on? What actions may influence them to convert or not to convert? User testing is one of the key ways to really understand the qualitative aspects of what's going on in the customer's mind. So this is the original landing page that we started with. And from user testing, surveys, and the heat maps, we have understood in the discovery process that people were telling us that the page was way too busy and maybe too salesy. People were asking, what's in it for me? And they had a lot of credibility issues. There wasn't enough support for the claims. Best tasting, highest quality, all natural. Is that true? People are always going to question all of your marketing material. They also had a lot of questions about what ingredients were included in these supplements. And they wanted to see what other brands that this particular whey protein compared to. So now we've gathered all this data in our discovery process, and we're going to create educated guesses or a hypothesis to understand what we could potentially test in the future. In the hypothesis phase, we are questioning not only our existing traffic, but where is there opportunity to really leverage and make the most profit. The 5 ingredients of creating a world-class hypothesis are all about that quantitative and qualitative analysis, but also gathering heuristic data and understanding what their intuition is and how it plays into different stakeholders. We are really gathering in the discovery process a prioritization chart of where the most potential is. Everything has a specific number value. Where is the most profit? So we want to organize all of our tests based on where the biggest opportunity is. Along with that, we want to create specific goals for each one of the tests that we're potentially going to run in our conversion optimization process. For instance, not only do you want to have the big picture goal, the total sale, but you also want to have micro conversions. In this case, one of the other goals that we are creating is how many people actually add something to the cart. Obviously, they can't check out. You can't get to the confirmation page if no one actually adds something to the cart. So we want to ensure that that's one of our goals as well. The next step is to implement all this stuff. That is all what the execution and creation process is. Prior to doing that, we want to understand exactly what tools that we're going to be using. In this case study, we're using Visual Website Optimizer, Google Analytics, UserTesting.com, and Surveymonkey. Visual Website Optimizer is the platform that we're going to be using to do split testing and heat maps. Google Analytics tracks our data. User Testing gives us qualitative analysis of people going through the site using videos. And Surveymonkey, as we explained, gives us data based on surveys on a thank you page or potential people who leave the cart, people who abandon. Now let's set up our initial test. The control, as you see here on the left, is, as we explained, it was too busy. People didn't understand what the ingredients were, what the claims and support are. So our hypothesis was to create a new page that was use the exact same information, just reorganized in a better way. So we take the two new URLs, the control and the test, and we add those to Visual Website Optimizer. In this case, we're going to be doing a split URL test, just a basic A/B test, and it's going to run it for a period of time. The period of time is going to change based on whatever site you have, because it's all based on how much traffic you have. In this case, we learned that the average test takes about 14 days. So we're always going to run each of the tests over a 14-day period starting on a Thursday. You want to ensure that the time increments are very similar across all of your tests, so the tests are always apples to apples. So reiterating what we talked about in the control, it was too busy. People were asking what's in it for me. There was no support for all the claims. They wanted to know what the calories and servings were, and along with the ingredients and the ability to compare to other brands. And oops, that's a mess up on the slide. But the result of our new landing page is that it would be easier to read. We would apply social proof. We would emphasize the 90-day money-back guarantee. People wanted to understand the ingredients, simplify the message, and also show reviews for the page. So setting up our test in Visual Website Optimizer, it's pretty simple. We just go to the very top, create test, and do a split URL test. You can see here it's starting with a bunch of zeros, and our test is getting started. We've now ran it for 14 days, and now we're going to review the process of understanding what was happening during that split URL test. Initially, when we first reviewed what was going on during this test, we can see that the new variation was starting to show some positive signs in the total amount of revenue per session, along with the clicks. The two goals that we created for this particular test are the e-commerce sale and the click-through rates. The click being adding something to the cart or really clicking on the page overall. And we can see in early on results that the e-commerce sale was starting to produce more revenue than the initial control. As data started to come in, you can see a detailed report of exactly what was going on. That additional $2 of revenue per visitor averaged out to about a 19% improvement within the first week. Overall, after running the test for about 14 days, the final result produced a percentage improvement of 65% increase with a chance to beat the original by 95%. You can see here that the average dollar value per visitor increased by almost $4. Total revenue over that period of time during a 14-day period averaged about $2,000 per visitor in the final run. This is key to understanding that all we did was understand exactly what the customer wanted and then re-engineered the exact same page design with the same exact information just in a simple way. That's a huge win. And that's something that anybody really can do within the first 2 or 3 weeks of running these type of tests. It's all about understanding exactly the right place to test, the right pages, and the right opportunities, and then listening to your customers, having them tell you what you want, and then delivering on that in a new result. From that, we now move into the next portion of the process. The ability to take what we've learned, or from our wins or our losses, and the ability to scale that. Because it's all about improving the bottom line. Not only do we want to improve the revenue and the conversion rates for those individual pages, but we also want to scale the overall revenue for the whole site. And I think this is a key message for what a lot of conversion optimization people or testers do that they miss, is that they don't use the same wins or losses to really improve the bottom line. So in order for us to do that, we're going to take what we learned. This is the new version of the landing page that had the 65% increase. We're going to take what we learned of this landing page and apply it to all of our other landing pages, all of our other product pages. For instance, as we mentioned, the other top page was the energy drink. This same exact layout is very similar to all of their other landing pages. So the ability to take one product page, all the wins, and apply that to all the other areas of the products. That way, not only do you have the increases on the original control page, but also the wins are now applied to all of your product pages. Overall, this will allow you to grow your bottom line. This will give you more new customers, more clicks, which will lead to more leads or more conversions, a better conversion rate, which eventually will mean more profit, and you'll see the trends. I just ran this today. The test actually just finished last week, and we have applied these changes to the whole site, and we're now starting to see an uptrend for new customers. We want to ensure that every aspect of our data is tracked. I knew that this day, this was not an uptrend. This was just a basic newsletter drop. That's why there's this little peak here. But the additional uptrend for new customers is starting to show, and that will eventually show in our bottom line, in our total gross revenue for this particular client. Once we know what those wins and those losses are, we can also leverage other channels. The ability to put our marketing campaigns out there on Facebook, on AdWords, on Bing, wherever you're doing your marketing campaigns, you can apply the same wins in your headlines, in your layout, and your imagery, and apply that to not only your ads, but also the additional landing pages. So with Facebook, we want to use what we learned and apply that to the actual ads that are served in Facebook. In Google AdWords, we'll use the best performing headlines and apply those to our PPC ads. We can also apply some of the imagery and the headlines to our retargeting ads, our display ads, and also determine which of the queries that are in our pay-per-click campaigns are driving the actual most conversions. This is key to really understanding how you can leverage all of your marketing campaigns with the same wins from your A/B tests. So that's the 5-step formula to master website conversions. It can seem like a lot of work, and it is, but if you're able to move it into a consistent process over a period of time, you're able to get these short amount of wins and grow your profit in the short term. Let's say over a 2-week period, you now have a win, like the 65%. If you're able to continuously do that throughout the year, you'll get a compound effect and your profits will show. So in summary, the 5-step formula to master website conversions is a discovery process where we're understanding exactly who our customers are, what their pains and problems are, defining our ideal audience, and then using that to create a hypothesis. what experiments or educational guesses can we make to understand what changes that we could make that could really be beneficial, and how can we prioritize which of the tests that we want to run, and then use that in our execution and our creation process to do the wireframe, to do the HTML, to do the test implementations. And then once the tests actually run, to then review that, understand where the wins and the losses are, and use those wins and scale them over all of our marketing campaigns. And it's very important to understand the quantitative and qualitative aspect of that. Along with the case studies that I do on master website conversions, I also do website reviews for our members. These are just some of the reviews that I've done over the last few weeks, where I review personal blogs, e-commerce sites, SaaS applications, and I help you improve your conversions for your own site, because that's what the site is really focused on. It's helping you improve your conversions and generate more leads. So what is Master Website Conversions? It's a conversion training course that I am continuously updating weekly. I create videos all about the case studies that I'm recording, but I also give you free landing pages, free website reviews, and also free consulting. I wrap this all together in a private Facebook group under masterwebsiteconversions.com. If you're interested in creating a case study together, or you have feedback about this webinar or the membership site in general, please send me an email. My email is located right there down below, alex@alexdesigns.com. Now, we've had a couple people submit their site for website reviews, so I'm going to, in the last 10 minutes, do a review starting with Tim in the chat room. So I'm going to switch this real quick. Take a drink of water. And I'm going to switch my screen to, okay. Okay, you should be able to see the Experience Timberlea website. Okay. As soon as I arrive at a website, I immediately refresh it and I close my eyes. As soon as I open my eyes, within 2 seconds, you should clearly know exactly what the site does. As soon as I look here, it says more than a camp. That's immediately kind of where my eye goes to, and then I see kind of things kind of rotating. More than a camp, Experience Timberlea. My assumptions are telling me right now that there's not a clear, unique value proposition. More than a camp is very important, but this possibly could be tested to say camp located in, or understanding who is visiting my site and where they're located probably plays into a lot of what is going on to potentially convert these people. More than a camp. Where are you located? Register for camp. Donate. So right now, because everything is almost monochromatic, all the green, there's nothing that's calling out telling me exactly what to do. Even though this says register online, you probably should, I would recommend adding little buttons to each one of these little columns. That would force more people to click on the area. Also, I believe there's almost either a lack of credibility of where it's located. Oh, okay, I see it's East Troy, Wisconsin down below. But it took me a couple seconds to kind of see that. So I would clearly say more than a camp located in East Troy, Wisconsin. And then next tell them what to do. Because these don't look like necessarily buttons. Even though me as a technical person, I know that I can click on all these, I think you clearly need to show people with a call to action exactly what to do. So based on what I just showed you in the 5-step process, in order to optimize this site, you obviously have a lot of content. So I would want to know, what are the top 5 pages, not including the home page, you're receiving traffic from. So let's take a guess. I would say that your top traffic pages are maybe register online or one of these summer camps. Oh, it's all based on different age. So one of the keys that I want you to remember about conversion optimization is understanding the right places to optimize. So let's say the top page is ministry team. No, camp by focus, specialty camps. Okay. Let's just take a guess. This is one of the top pages. So not only do you want to know what the top 5 pages are, but you want to understand exactly what is happening once they arrive here. Experience Timberlake. You're still missing the aspect of where it's located and how do I register. Because as soon as I leave the home page, I don't have the ability to register anywhere. Okay, it's up here. So I imagine that you're getting a lot in all of your subpages, that you're getting a lot of clicks in this area. And photos and videos, okay, that takes me away. That takes me over to SmugMug. That's probably increasing your bounce rate. Testimonials. Okay, I got it. This register for a camp area needs to be a lot clearer. If this is a button to actually get them to register, make it look like a clear button, because right now it kind of just looks like a headline. If I click on donate, it takes me away. If I click on photos and videos, it takes me away. And if I click on testimonials, which is probably pretty important, it takes me to this page. If possible, can you get pictures of people, kids or parents, showing exactly, having fun or whatever, incorporated into these quotes? That way you can clearly have some social proof and people can rely on you in order to get them to do it, because it's very confusing in the navigation. If I were to send my daughter to your camp, I would arrive here and I'd probably, click on summer camp, and then I'd start to read through. So I think what you're missing is some clear call to actions, not only in this area, but along in the individual sections, because I imagine that you're getting pretty good click-throughs through all of your pages. But because there's really so much going on, and I see that this takes you away to SmugMug too, that's just a leak in your funnel. So your bounce rates are probably pretty high. Family experiences. Overall, you have a very common problem that most sites have. You have a lot of great content. You're just not guiding people correctly to the finish line appropriately. Family experiences, leadership development, get involved. Right now, it seems that you have a lot of great information, but you're not necessarily telling your story properly. I try to find a way to tell how to get people to relate to you. Either it's through geolocation, which is focusing on people in Wisconsin or in the Midwest, or however people are arriving there, but somehow telling your story better in a certain way. Because even on your homepage, getting people to register, request info, and go to the camp right away, I imagine these are getting pretty good clicks, but I don't know if people are necessarily even ready for that. So my top suggestions would be to work on this top corner area. This should be a clear button, and donate and photos, maybe not necessarily so close to actually registering. Actually, in fact, instead of having the search area or right here, that might not be a bad spot for it, but having in this white area, register for camp button, like a clear button. That way people know exactly, even if they're going to one of these long pages and they scroll down, was that one of the long pages? And they scroll down, it always stays above the fold. Because all the navigation is pretty good if people want to drill down, but as soon as you get into a lot of the interior pages, you get lost of where to go. See? Register for camp, it just goes away. You can even do this in this nice area right here. Having the 8,500 people from Facebook, that's really good. It creates a lot of social proof. If you've been featured in other magazines aside from this member or this one, I would show those in catalogs or the newspaper or your local paper. I would show logos of that, so it builds credibility. Also, just how much more you can use the experience of kids or parents' experience with the camp. The more you can show that up front, really the better. Volunteer. This is a pretty common problem that majority of sites that have a lot of content do. They try to add way too much stuff, and people end up going nowhere. I imagine some of the questions that people have are, how much does it cost? This takes you to a PDF. It's probably not the best experience. Book your retreat, book your school trip. Okay, I clicked on book your school trip, or I think, or plan your visit, and then I arrive here, and then everything is a video or picture that kind of wants to take me away. So you're missing a key call to action, either to request the catalog or to actually register for the camp. This whole request a catalog area, it brings you over to constant contact, I see. If possible, if you could put this in a pop-up or an overlay, that would certainly help as well. But right now, this doesn't look like it's actually clickable, even though it is. And of course, a lot of your pages take people away to, which is probably increasing your bounce rate overall. Let's quickly just take a look at how people register as well. Okay, it looks like you're using some type of proprietary registration system, which may not be a bad thing, but if you have the ability to wrap your website's either header, maybe you service in an iframe, or you just, but right now it's just inconsistent, going from registration to here. I don't know how much flexibility that you may have on changing this, but this looks like it's potentially a problem when people are registering. I would certainly make the phone number a lot bigger so people can just call you to register. I think that would be a great way to do it. And also adding your phone number and potentially address to your header. There's no way people are going to go down to the bottom necessarily to get your address or your phone number. I would add that to the header as well. Let's quickly just learn about you as well. These are nice and simple icons, but they don't look like testimonials. They're actually kind of hard to read. It's kind of gray on white, and it kind of looks a little bit hard to read, so I would certainly try to do that. But overall, I think you just need to create your story a little bit better. Lead people down the finish line in the better way. Let's take a look see if we can find some competitors or potential examples which may lead us in the right direction of how you can improve your conversions. Let's go with Wisconsin ministries. Let's see what some of your top traffic keywords are. Ministries. Okay. Ministries camps. Okay. Let's go. Wisconsin camp ministry. Okay, so what we want to do is see the people who are actually buying traffic to these type of words. That way we can understand, more than likely if they're spending money, they've spent a lot of time on some of the ideas that we're talking about. So let's just open all these up in new tabs. YMCA, let's just see what they're doing. Go next, let's go to a couple more. Harry Potter summer camp, oh cool. So let's quickly take a look at some of the examples within your keyword area. So this is not necessarily the best looking website, but as soon as I arrive there, look at what they have. Wisconsin summer camp. No guesses about it whatsoever. It's in Wisconsin and it's a summer camp. Not necessarily the best design for sure, but they have a clear value proposition. Where nature is fun, Wisconsin summer camp. Let's continue to move on. About Camp Mac. This particular pay-per-click campaign was sending people to the About Us section. I don't know if I necessarily have any insight into how this is working well, but I do like these little headers up top. They're separating it specifically between summer camps, adult and family, and plan your event. Compared to, if I quickly take a look back, you are doing it by just these little links up top and a lot of monochromatic stuff compared to this one, which is kind of calls it out, and that visual element makes it easier to actually understand what exactly is going on. Christian camp, retreat, and conference center. Library themed camps, Harry Potter week. Registration for summer camp 2014 available. Spots fill quickly. This is exactly what you need in your left-hand navigation. Summer camp, calling out, which all the different camps. But this registration box I think is actually really nice. Registration for camp is going on now. They're creating a little bit of scarcity. Spots fill up quickly, getting people to actually register right away. This is actually a great way to do that. Let's move on. Family camp. Family activities for all ages, family vacation, Bible help for home. They're showing credibility that it's a real place with real ministers or pastors, whoever these are. But this is actually creating some really good credibility. Give a gift, donation, catalog. Not bad, but over 60 years of Christian camping. Credibility, if you've been in business for a long time, this is really a good way to do it. Let's just click on another section. It's mostly a theme camp, so let's take a look at YMCA. Donate, register for programs. My eye immediately went to that whole section, so it's showing exactly where it is on the map, I assume. It's the YMCA, but having that button up there, it clearly tells people what you want them to do. Take a look at another one. Let's see how they're similar. Looks like they're buying a good amount of ads. Good amount of ads. So overall, in summary, with Timberly, experienced Timberly, that isn't necessarily a good value proposition. It should say Wisconsin summer camp or Wisconsin Christian camp, and that way you get more people to actually register. But overall, a lot of great content. Also, with the ability of the slider, if you want to test if this slider is actually working, you can actually do a test of a static image versus the 4 different slides. And then once you can see if that's a win or a loss, because sometimes these do win, sometimes these do lose. But then you can organize each of the different slides based on which gets the most clicks. I hope that was helpful, Tim. If you have any questions, you can send me an email, alex@alexdesigns.com. Okay, well, that's it for the workshop today. If you do have any questions or you want to reach out to me, you can certainly visit alexdesigns.com or the membership site, masterwebsiteconversions.com. I'm certainly looking for feedback about the membership site and looking to help you create case studies so you can improve your conversion rates too. That's it. I will see you guys next week.